Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Open Mic'd. I am your host, Mike DeVore. I'm basically live streaming this right now, giving it a shot, testing out my equipment. I'm trying to level up this game, and who knows? Who knows how it'll turn out. Basically, the premise of the show is I just ramble about different things that's going on in my life, things that I observe. Just trying to create content. I don't know. I don't know why I need to create content, but I feel like that I have this need for a creative endeavor, and I want to take advantage of it. I believe I have enough skill sets to build something, but it's all about trial and error. And I just want to build something, kind of hard. I'll be honest. It's hard looking into the camera and talking to it, because usually I don't make eye contact in general. I like to just zone off, but that's not entertaining for people. I don't know, because I'll watch other YouTubers. I'm a big fan of Luke Thomas. He covers MMA. He's a journalist. And he has his own live stream podcast where he looks directly into the camera the entire time while being able to think about what he's going to say. Granted, he has a lot of experience doing journalism and whatnot. And so I guess, and also too, he has jump off points. He has talking points that he can focus on. And it's so weird, to be able to, I don't know, it's just new to me, just to talk and to talk and look somebody in the eyes is new to me. So, takes time, takes practice, and I at the end of the day, I hope you enjoy this stuff. I'm working on getting this podcast on Apple Podcast and Stitcher and Spotify and all that stuff. I just need to I need a logo. I need a podcast cover photo in a certain format, and I'm working on it. All right, guys. I'm 8 episodes deep, even though only 3 episodes are up on my SoundCloud. You can check out the sound. I should double check the. Let's see what the actual URL for my podcast is. Okay, yeah, it's soundcloud.com/openmic'd OPENMIKED podcast. So let me go ahead and put it on this open. Let's just go ahead and put it on there, so that way people know where to subscribe to it, and it'll also be on my my YouTube channel, so that way these live streams will. There we go. Let me just edit that real quick. Get the. Actually, let's just do that. That looks cleaner. There we go. We are doing it. We are live. There we go. And I obviously have some people in the chat room, and by some people I have one. What's going on, Matt? I don't know. I'm gonna try to talk to you guys, but I really want to focus on this talking point. Since this is an audio podcast, I gotta get it done. I'm already getting comments right now. One from Matt Murray. He's like, I feel kind of looked at, in reference to me looking right into the camera. And then one from Trevor Anderson, fellow comic. He writes, if we have to look at your face, you should use After Effects or something. Very kind of him. Very kind of you, Trevor. You sound like a good dude. So yeah. Basically, I have a few things that I want to talk about. Earlier today, I accidentally dialed the emergency number on my iPhone. And I didn't realize I did that until a countdown was being made on my phone, and it just made this loud ass noise going and it was like, I mean, like it was cool that they did that, like to let you know that shit's going down, that your phone's going off. But at the same time, just imagine I needed to be discreet about it. It's very counterproductive. I guess like not everyone uses that emergency contact. I don't know anybody that's been in a situation that needed to use the emergency iPhone contact, but like it just was counterproductive in a sense. It just made this loud ass noise. Like, what if you're in a situation where, like I said, you needed to be discreet and like the phone goes off like that? I don't know. Fortunately, I've never been in a position where I needed to. Well, I take that back. There was this one time where it was recently. It was like probably about a week ago, where I was walking my dog, and I saw. It was like late at night. It was around 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and I saw this guy break into one of my neighbors' kitchen. Like, I just hear a pop, the screen comes off, and I look over, and just some guys going into the window. I freak out because it's like, I don't know if he he obviously didn't see me, because I don't think he would have done that if he saw me. But it was just so like, I called the cops immediately and let them know what's going on. And as I'm like walking, I basically know what, like each one of our buildings is lettered like N through like T or something like that. And I noticed it was like one of the buildings. I knew what letter it was, but I didn't know like the unit number. So like while I was on the phone with the cops, I tried to go investigate to see like what unit number it was. And then there was just like this random ass drunk dude hanging out in front of the same house. I don't know if he was being lookout, but I don't know. Like, if you're gonna break into a house, why would you want your point guy, your lookout guy, to be fucking drunk out of his mind? Like, my dog was barking, and like I tried telling him, I'm like, yeah, my dog's, like, while I was on the phone, like, it freaked me out because like the guy was trying to play with my dog, but the dog kept barking at the guy. And I'm like, man, you are a horrible point guy. You're a horrible lookout guy. So I called the cops, and they take my information, and they go about their day. Mind you, I'm pissed, not because someone broke into my house, but my dog has a hard time taking shits. And especially when it's late at night and it's kind of like dark. And I'll be honest, it's kind of scary at times. I'm a 33-year-old man, and I get scared of the dark. I don't know. That's just another story. But like, yeah, like my dog, he takes his time taking shits. And it's so annoying because it's like, I know he has to shit. I know he has to poop. But like, he just takes his sweet time, and it's just very frustrating at times. Because like, I don't know, like I don't get why dogs. I like there are times where he's very like, as soon as he gets out there, he poops. But then there are other times where like, I expect him to do that, and he just doesn't do it, and it just bothers me. Anywho. So, going back to the story, as soon as I get off the phone, the cops show up. And I've never been in a neighborhood where the cops showed up right when you call them. And I guess like that's basically, this is what it's like to live in a white neighborhood. Feels good. Feels good to know that like when shit goes down, you can call the cops and they show up. And they showed up right away. This is what white privilege is all about. I enjoy it. I'm half white, and I don't know. When it comes to race, I know it's fucked up, and like some people don't have like the privilege, but I try to take advantage of both sides of my ethnicity. Like, I'm half Filipino, half white, and there are times where I'm trying, like, okay, I guess I can try to take advantage of my white side and, like, hopefully get out of speeding tickets and whatnot, and which I'm like 1 for 1. And then there's other times where I use my ethnicity. Like, I never cared about being Asian, and I say this in my act. I never cared about being Asian until Hollywood started giving us money for diversity. Like, that's so true. Like, or even like trying to apply for college scholarships. Like, just the fact that I can take advantage of that is nice. And I don't know. I don't know if that's respect or if that's respected, but in this industry, you got to take, I don't know if that's desperation, being able to take advantage of certain situations, certain lanes. Yeah. Some people would be like, no, I want to get I want to get it acknowledged based on my talent, which I do. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to take any shortcuts. I want to earn what I get. But at the same time, like, I want to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to me. And to be fair, the only time I've been able to take advantage of my opportunities as being Asian is getting booked on all Asian shows or diverse, like, lineups. So, like, I just did a show last week where it's called Minority Retort. The guy, Jason Lamb out of Portland, shout out to Jason. He put together this show. He does it in Portland, he does it in Seattle, and he just gets a group of diverse comedians and does a great show. And yeah, so anywho, like, the cops showed up and, like, they tried to they contacted the owners of the apartment. I guess they I don't know what happened, but apparently the guy got away. They weren't able to find him or the drunk point man. And so, yeah, like, I don't know. It was just one of those situations. Let's check in with chat. Let's see what they say. Trevor says, I'm white. Cops took 45 minutes last time I called. By the way, how's your erectile distinction? I think he was trying to say dysfunction. Erectile dysfunction's going great. That's not true. No, I'm joking. We're kidding here. And then Matt Murray writes, cops don't have shit to do here. They get so excited that from a small shoplift, about 7 cops show up. Okay, so they're just looking for action. That's got to be boring as a cop. Like, man, I wish a crime broke out. For me, I don't know if it's just like I never liked doing my job. Like, I always try to look, like, whenever I had to do like a retail job, or like, I always looked for the shortcut. Like, except I know I just contradict myself when it's like I don't like looking for shortcuts, but I'm passionate about comedy. But like when I was working at Costco, I wasn't passionate about being at Costco. I was a door guy, and I don't know. Like, basically, what I'm trying to say is, like, if there was nothing going on, I would love to not have to do shit while working. So if I was a cop, I think you're Matt. You're from, where are you from? I know you. I think the Netherlands. I think you're from the Netherlands. It's escaping me right now. But if I were to be a cop, I would be in the Netherlands, because according to Matt, you don't have to, like, there's nothing to do. So I don't. Growing up, I wanted to be a cop. I think part of it was because my dad was a cop, or he was like a security guard. I don't he was some type of authoritative figure, but like I guess when I was young, like, I was like, I want to be authoritative. But then as I grew up, as I got older, I realized it's like, I don't want to tell people what to do. I don't want to be in charge of anything. I just kind of want to do my shit and, like, go about my day. Not out of laziness, but I just don't feel comfortable doing it. I think from what I read before, that's a, like, little brother type. Like, if you grew up like the big brother, you're used to telling people what to do. If you're like the little brother, you're kind of hesitant to, like, or uncomfortable telling people to do. Like that's part of the reason. I don't know if I struggled in the Navy, but towards the end of the time that I was there, I was put in like supervisor positions, and I just got tired of telling people what to do, because like you get attitude. But then again, I guess like, because I would get attitude from like I would get pushback from like telling people what to do. And I think part of it is like I just didn't care for the job. Another example of me like looking for shortcuts because I just didn't care for that job. I think there's a pattern here where I was just looking for the shortcuts. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, cops are one thing. Cops are one thing. What else? What else is going on in my life? I was thinking about this earlier. I was doing writing, and I don't know. I'm just trying to work on this new bit where I don't know if it has any legs or not, but I get tired. I remember when I was growing up that this one kid said to me, "Music is my life. Music is my life." And like now that I sit back and think about it, I wonder if he has the same mentality. I doubt he has the same mentality now. But imagine if he did. If he was like, "Music is my life." Like, how old are you? 30. Every day I listen to music. As soon as I wake up, I need my music. And then that got me thinking about like hipsters in general. Or elitists, where they're just like, oh, I don't listen to mainstream rap or rock or pop because they're not saying anything. They're not speaking to me. And I just hate those types of snobs. Like, man, why can't you just let people enjoy the music that they listen to without judging them? A lot of times, like, you get judged for what you listen to, for what you watch. And, like, that's some shit. Like, it's your form of entertainment. Just watch what you want to watch. Listen to what you want to listen to. I don't know. I probably did shit on somebody. I contradict myself a lot. I probably, at one point in my life, or multiple points, probably a bunch of times, where if I shit, I don't know. I can't remember a time where I shit on somebody for liking what they like. But I remember it happening to me when we went to... a few years ago, I think it was probably about 2 years ago. It probably was 2 years ago. I went to was it a KRS One concert? Yeah, I think it was one of those old school hip hop heads. I went to a concert with my buddy Brian, and I guess he and a bunch of other people went with us. And I remember we're sitting there, like we're at the bar before the show started. We're waiting, and like we're talking about music, and like we're just talking about shit we've been listening to. And at the time, I was listening to Takashi 6ix9ine. Shit's dumb. The music, I admit, is really dumb, but it's really catchy, and I listen to that shit all the time. And him and like that entire group like shat on me. They're like, "How can you listen to that shit? How can you?" And I'm like, dude, it's just entertainment. So like ever since then, like he judges me for liking Andy Samberg, and he judges me for listening to Takashi 6ix9ine or even Post Malone, like because I know it's dumb, but like the shit's catchy. So we're sitting there, like, so after that ordeal, we go to the concert where KRS One, mind you, he's from like the early 90s hip hop. So like I noticed when we get into the venue, people, the average age was like between 30 and 50. And they're all like sitting like standing towards the back with beers in hand. And it's like, it's so funny, like as you grow older, like your fan base grows with you. And I don't know if it's because I've been to a lot of concerts in my life, but I remember like just like Like I was expecting like the show to be hyped and everything. KRS, I think it was KRS-One. Like he kept saying, "This is real hip hop. This is real hip hop. This is real hip hop." And I just remember I'm like, "Oh, this sucks." I'm like, "Oh, this is real hip hop. I don't want to like hip hop." But then I didn't like I made fun of the situation. Like it's just like, "Hey, like yeah, this is real hip hop." But I wasn't judging like my buddy. I don't know. Just one of those thoughts where like I just hate people who act as elitist. I don't know why people do that. Like one person wrote Radical 3D1 6ix9ine is a rat. That's true. That is true. Yeah, like if you don't know, Takashi 6ix9ine was this like I think it was 2018. I don't know if it was 2019, but no, it was 2018 because he went to jail in November of 2018. But Takashi 6ix9ine was this rapper based out of New York, and like he blew up like underground, like with like his gang affiliation to the Bloods. He had like all of his all of his songs were like I think he put out like 8 to 10 songs, and all 8 to 10 of them made like the Billboard Top 100s. And like his music was dumb, but like it was really fucking catchy. And then apparently like he was associated with the Bloods, and like part of his like shtick was like being this gangster, and like he had beefs with like another rapper, Chief Keef, some other rapper. I can't think of other names right now, but he like it was just crazy how he just blew up on. Like, he had so many followers. Like, he had like a couple million followers on Instagram, and like he would post like silly, outrageous shit. So fast forward to like November 2018, he gets indicted by the feds for like a bunch of like conspiracy charges, like racketeering, like just being a part of the Bloods gangs. And then like in order to like he was facing like a life sentence. Like it was crazy. And then in order to cut a deal, he ended up snitching. And in the rap game, if you're a snitch, you ain't gangster. You ain't a thug. So yeah. Like, so his street cred went straight down. He went from being a Blood to... I'm trying to think of something witty to say, but the first thing that came to my mind was from being a Blood now into the mud. So that was stupid. That was dumb. I regret saying that. What else? Yeah, so that's story 6ix9ine being a snitch. Like, going back to the whole emergency phone thing though, like that, I don't know, like that, like when it made that noise, like it was basically calling me out for being a snitch. I guess. I don't know. I was just trying to make the connection there. From blood to dud, Trevor. Nice. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Shout out to Trevor Anderson. This is fun. This live stream is fun. What else do I... Oh, yeah, I talked about this in my last podcast, in episode 7, where I watched the Harry Potter movies with my girlfriend because she made me. Well, she didn't make me, but like we would watch a lot of things. I don't know if it was a guilt. It wasn't a guilt thing, but we always watch what I want to watch. And I didn't want to take advantage of that, so I was like, all right, I'll watch the Harry Potter movies with you. And I watched, like, in the last episode of the podcast, I talked about how for the most part the series was okay. The only one movie I didn't see from the series was the last one, like Deathly Hallows Part 2. And everything leading up to that point, like everything was just okay, because what I said was in each movie there's basically two stories. Like the movie itself is a story in itself, and then like then there's also the overarch of the Voldemort storyline. And so everything's building up to the very last movie. So I said like everything up until the last movie was okay. Like, and then I finally saw the last one last night, and I really enjoyed it. I felt like everything was delivered. You obviously needed it to like see all the other Harry Potters to get what was going on in the finale or in the final one. But it was a good turnout, but I think part of the reason why I hated the movies, I just hated them going to school. It was so boring to me. It's like, let's go study fucking magic, blah, like abracadabra shit. It like, I don't know, like I try to like I try to compare it to like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like the action scenes in the MCU are obviously pretty badass. Like they're fighting, they're fucking like using their weapons. They're like, it's so hard to like go back up like the fight scenes in Harry Potter because they're like, you're going down, fucking one, like, psh, psh, psh. And it's just like it was just so hard. But like the finale was pretty. The final one, Deathly Hallows Part 2, was pretty good, and I enjoyed it. Yeah. Matt's saying he felt really sad at the end, but that's mostly because his childish brain couldn't deal with the ending things. Grow the fuck up, Matt. I need to figure out when I'm going to stream this podcast. Like, I want to do it live. Like, I want to do it consistently. I don't know. Like, I just want to record this podcast when I record it and release it. Like, I don't think everyone like has it's like every Tuesday this podcast is coming out. I don't really care for that. I just want to put out content when I put out content. I don't know. I'll figure it out. What else? What else did I want to talk about? Consistency. I think I was referring to comedy in that. Yeah, like part of my thing is when it comes to comedy, like the key thing is being consistent as far as consistently well, or if you suck, consistently shitty. And I feel like a lot of times where like it's always up and down for me. Like I'll have like good shows, and then like have a shitty show. And I know that's part of the process. I know that's part of the thing, the growth. But like, I don't know if I take it bad. I don't take it horrible, but I dwell on it a lot. Where I'm like, fuck, like that was even if the set was good. Like if you haven't seen me in like the set, like you enjoyed yourself. Like to me, it's like like I could have done better because I've had good shows where it was really. I got distracted by Matt. Damn it, Matt. Maybe like this is gonna be part of the growing process where I learn to like not react to every bit of chat. Oh well. What was I saying? I was talking about the consistency thing, like because there's times where I'll do a show and it's okay to me, but like people enjoy it. And I have that feeling because there's other times where I'll have shows where like I hate using, I don't know if it's a self-confidence thing, but I hate using the term crush or killing it, because I think that's just, because I feel like if I say that about my comedy, I immediately assume like I'm being a douchebag. I guess like I just want to be humbled. I just want to be humble. I'm so humble. And like I don't like there are things that I enjoy that I do. I'm not like I like to drink my own Kool-Aid or anything or toot my own horn. But they're like sometimes when I post clips on Instagram and Facebook, like I like watching the clips because I genuinely enjoy it. I think it's cool, like creating like I said, creating content. But like when it comes to like the live performances, like I like to obviously I want to do my best, and I like other people. It's not I was about to say I like other people telling me I did well, but not like to inflate my ego, but like to like kind of be like, okay, I'm on the right track. I did something well. There are times where like I'll do shows where I obviously don't do well. Like I struggle. And I remember this one time, like I appreciate like with honesty, but I would rather have feedback from people like that get what I'm trying to do. And like there's this one time I remember I was doing a casino gig. Casino gigs, by the way, from all the ones I've done, they always suck for me. Like I always struggle. Like those are the hard ones. I remember I struggled at this one casino gig, and this guy came up to me after the show. Like he goes up to the headliner, he's like, "You did wonderful. You did great." Then like he comes up to me, he's like, "You need work to do." And I'm like, "I know. I was there. Like, don't tell me that. Like, I was obviously there with you guys. I know I need to work." But the fact that I don't get that, dude. Like, what was in his mind that's like, he needs to hear it from me, a retired fucking manager from lumber yards. Like, I need to let him know that he needs to do better. And it's like, I don't get why, it's one of those things where people critique. I think this is one of my pet peeves. When people critique like other people in fields that they have no business in. Like I'll get back to your question, Matt. Like when people critique it's like sports fans. I don't like when people call into radio shows to talk about the game. It's like I just don't understand it. I don't get like the mindset. Like, well, people will be like, "Hey, so how'd you think about like for example, like the Chargers, how they do? Oh, the Chargers, they need to work on this. If I was the offensive coordinator, I would have done this play. Why do we need to run it on this down? I would have like drafted this guy." It's like, who are you? Just because you play Madden and like been watching the NFL for X amount of years doesn't mean you're the so-called expert. If you were that good to call that shit, you'd be working in the NFL. I hate it's like yeah, the Chargers needed to run this play. Oh, what do? I manage a Cinnabon. Yeah, athletes don't go to like, I'd like to see this. Athletes don't go to fucking like other jobs that like and just critique them. It's like, yeah, I don't like how Harold pulled the Cinnabons out of the oven. If that was me, I would have like waited a few more minutes. I would have used better technique. I don't know what that manager was thinking hiring that guy. Yeah, like, he needs to go back to Del Taco. Yeah, like I just don't get it. And like just like for me as a fan, I think part of it for me, the reason I feel this way is because I know myself. It's like I can't do what other people do. Like, this was another thing that happened to me. I posted a clip, like one of my clips online on Reddit. Just like, I didn't even like ask for feedback. I was just like, hey, this happened on one of my shows. Just, I want to throw it out there. I want you to enjoy it. Just let me know what you think. I guess that in that's essence, like, I don't know if I said that or not. Maybe I did. I'll double check. But like, I was just like, yeah, because I enjoyed the clip. I thought it was funny. Like, there you go. This one guy like the first comment I got was just like, he basically said, it was like, it was okay. Like, as it was a clip about me being Asian, like, just a silly, like one of my jokes about being Asian. And he was like, just like as an Asian myself, like, I don't really find it funny. I'm paraphrasing, like he didn't really say it like this exact stuff, but I guess I'm just saying it to prove my narrative, to prove my point. He basically said like, he's like, you could have taken it like somewhere else. You could have done this. You could have done that. You could do better. And it's like, who the fuck are you? So I immediately, as soon as he said that, I was already pissed. I was like, who the fuck are you? So I go into his profile to see what else he comments on. And this is how crazy I am. I go to his profile to see what else he commented on. And all of it, like his account's only 84 days old. And all he's ever commented on was just politics. And then the very last comment he posts, was was in reaction to what I posted. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? So then like I was pissed, right? So my next my next immediate thought was like, why am I so sensitive to this? Why does this bother me so much? So I'm like, is it my ego taking over? Like, am I like, because I do get sensitive. Like in as a comic, you need to have thick skin, and I'll admit that I'm overly sensitive, and there's times where I'm insecure. But newsflash, other comics feel the same way. And so I had to take a step back and just be like, okay, is my ego getting out of whack? Am I not seeing something? Like I just basically did a self check. It's like why am I feeling this way? And I think what I ended up like Googling was just like, yeah, like low self-esteem was like one of the things that popped up about like people who feel this way. It's like low self-esteem. And I was like, do I have low self-esteem? I think there are a lot of times where I tear myself down. Where it's like I said, like when it comes to the comedy, like I always like, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but there's times where I'll like feel like, oh, I didn't do this right, I didn't do that. Like I'm always like looking at things I did wrong, as opposed to like, it's like, oh, you did this right, you did this right, you did this right, or giving yourself positive affirmations. And I never really understood that until I did a podcast with my buddy Pacholo Cruz, which by the way, give him a shout out. Check out his podcast. He's an MMA fighter / comic. His podcast is called The Pancration Philosophy. I'll put it in chat. PANK. Not even fucking typing it right. PANKRATION PHILOSOPHY. Pancration Philosophy. It's a great, like he just like interview. It's kind of like a Joe Rogan style, but like he's very intuitive. And basically what he said to me was that one of our favorite fighters, Israel Adesanya, part of the reason why he's confident is because like he gives himself positive affirmations. And so I try to do that. I like, so going back to like, so like, I was just like, okay, maybe like I'm just being sensitive, maybe just taking into account what he said. Don't reply like angrily or like emotionally. Just be like, oh, thank you for the comment and thanks for watching. And that's what I wrote. And then the very next comment, not from him, but some other guy, was just like yeah, I wasn't. He's like, no, I disagree with that first guy. He's like, I really enjoy this clip. And then I immediately go, thank you, I wasn't crazy. So I went from like being emotional to like, okay, take a step back, relax, calm down, to being back emotional. I'm like, man, fuck that first comic. Fuck that first guy. Yeah, so yeah, it's just one of those things, man. Just one of those things. Being consistent. Like I guess that's all I want to talk about today. Yeah. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Let's go back to the. All right. So Matt Murray asks, "Are you still keeping up going to the gym, or have you already talked about this in the previous podcast?" I haven't talked about it in previous podcast. I caught myself slacking. I'm slacking on the gym aspect. I need to work on that. Yeah, like there was a period like before. It's one of those habit forming things where like back in like the day after Thanksgiving, I went straight back to the gym. I went to the gym like straight through from the day after Thanksgiving to like January or till like December like 29th. I was at the gym every day in a row. Then my girlfriend hurt her back on the 30th or the 31st. And so I basically stopped going to the gym to help her out. And I also ended up hurting my toe. I broke my nail. I broke my nail. I broke my nail and like a bunch of blood came out. So it's kind of like hard to put on shoes and whatnot. So I took time off. And since then, I've probably been back to the gym about 2 times. So to answer your question, I want to get back into the gym. I just need to force myself to go back to the gym. Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. He was like, you have to keep it up 1 month to make it your habit. And also I've been slacking. Yeah, like it happens. So that's the thing too. It's like what I'm trying to learn how to do when it comes to the whole low self-esteem thing. Because in the past, I would just like hate myself. I'm like, oh, you suck. Why would you like do like, there you go, messing up again. But now it's more like, okay, time to get back into it. Time to, like, it's okay. People make mistakes. Just pick yourself back up and keep going. So that's the process I'm in right now. And also, yeah, too, like I need to, what's the word? Yeah, just get back at like to feel good. Cause I was looking at old pictures of myself from last year. And I was like, I'll be honest, like I was probably around 230, like at my, like earlier last year. Now I'm back up to past 260, 270. And I'm just like, man, I let myself go. So I need to get back into it. I need to, like, basically, I just want to feel better about myself. I just want to look good on stage. Oh yeah. And yeah, obviously the weight gain is tough on the mental health. I've been making sure that mental health from here on out has been like number one priority. I've been taking my medication. I haven't been going to therapy, but I do have something set up this month through the VA I'll take advantage of. So yeah. Any other questions? And by the way, if I'll set up a date for a time in where I do a live episode. I think whenever I do a live episode, I definitely want to announce it. But if you're into this, what's the word? What am I trying to say? I lost my train of thought. Basically, I going back to like, because usually with these podcasts you want to like have a consistent schedule to like so people can tune in and whatnot. But for me, I think my instinct is telling me just to do the podcast when I feel like doing it, and just catch the YouTube content, and I'll post clips of the show on my Instagram at It's Mike DeVore. I need more subscribers on my YouTube channel to get my custom URL. So if you can help me out by subscribing to my YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, if you have any questions or you want feedback, unsolicited feedback can go to openmikedpod@gmail.com, openmikedpod@gmail.com. Like, just let me know what you think. Give me more comments where I judge the fuck out of you for critiquing me. What else? Let's. I'm talking to the chat right now. Matt said, I've not been going because I actually went back and I realized really fast that I'm not nearly as strong as I used to be. I'll probably have to work my ass off for 3 months just to catch up. Dude, I know exactly what you feel. Like, that's the thing though. Like, I felt the same way. Like, okay, so when I first went back to the gym, like, I get insecure because it's like I gained a lot of weight, so I feel like I look like shit. I think back to times where I used to, like, because I remember, like, I used to be in shape. I used to play football in high school. And like knowing what I was capable of doing, the lowest I've ever been in my life, no shit, was probably like my adult life. I got down to like 170, like, or like in the, yeah, like around 170, 180. And I think about that a lot. It's like, man, I fucking used to be that way. And it's nice to talk about this, but you guys, like, Pocholo's, going back to pain creation philosophy, Pocholo told me, it's like, you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And I figure You just gotta start, gotta go back. You can't get to where you want to be by just not doing it. So I think tomorrow I'm gonna start getting back into it. I always say that tomorrow I'll get back into it, but no, tomorrow I'll definitely get back into it. And this was fun. Trevor, Matt, you guys have any lasting comments? Let's see. Fucking dead air. Dead air is the worst thing to happen. Matt's like, yeah, man, I was doing dumbbell presses of 70 pounds when I was 16. Now I'm 17 and I can barely get 50 up in the air. That happens, man. That happens. At least you could do 50. That's another thing too. It's like part of the reason why it's hard for me to get back in the gym is because I have all these injuries from the Navy. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything, but like I have a fucked up shoulder, my foot's kind of fucked up, and like it's just like it sucks because it's like I'll do well, and then like I get an injury, and then like it kind of sets me back. Let's see. My bad, Trevor. I missed this comment. Trevor says, I definitely have low self-esteem. One of the symptoms is that when I bombed, my night was ruined, but if I killed, I became an asshole. I would lord it over other comics and start giving advice. So do you mean like when you were being an asshole, you would act like all high and mighty? Trevor? This is a live show, by the way. If you haven't noticed, I like this interaction with people. This is fun. Yeah, so yeah, okay, so that's what he meant. Like he'd be all high and almighty. That's the balance we have to play as comics, man. And that's the thing too that I think about. It's like, is what we're doing the right thing? Like, will it lead to success? But then you have to define what success is. A lot of people define success as being able to make their income based solely on stand-up, or make a living just solely on stand-up. One success that I kind of agree with is like, it's not just about being able to pay your bills with what was the comic's name? He basically said it's not about paying your bills with just doing comedy, but being able to save as well. And I agree with that. Yeah, Trevor brings up a good point. Like I guess he felt that he based all of his self-worth on comedy, and that's a dangerous thing to do. That is such a dangerous thing to do. You have to have other factors that, yeah, you exactly need to find worth in other areas than just comedy. If you put all your one thing that I learned is that like comedy is not the end all be all to everything. Like, you have to... I'm trying to figure out what to say. Like, I put a lot of stock into comedy. Like, I felt like I needed to in order to succeed. And that eventually led me to my manic episode. That led me to getting divorced. And, yeah. So... like comedy will take, like Ralphie May once said, comedy will take everything away. So you have to find validation in other things, not just comedy. You have to find validation within yourself. Matt said that he caught himself doing that, like as far as putting self-worth into like his streams. Matt Murray, Mattmuri. He streams on Twitch. He plays Dark Souls. Good guy, fun to watch. He doesn't have a camera, but he is very he does talk a lot, which is good. I feel like when I play, I'm very quiet, but you can see my face. But no, what he said was like he caught like finding like putting his self-worth into his streams. Like when he was getting 5 to 10 viewers, it would make him happy, and he would get pissed if he only had like one viewer, none. So yeah, no, that's smart to recognize, because that's one thing that I did with my Twitch streams early on. Like I felt really good. I felt really good when people Like when I was playing Mario Maker all the time, I would, what's the word? I would be happy when I got like 5 to 10, like you. Like when I had a lot of streamers, like it was great. But then what I learned when I started playing other games was that like those, for the most part, those like Mario's audience members, they just want you to play their level. Like they're not there to like hang out with you. Granted, like I appreciate when people stick around and like I get to know them, and like those are the audience that I want. Like I don't even consider them an audience per se, but those are the like people that I want to interact with, and just like that to be able to connect with them, because I feel like those build better relationships down the road. Yeah. So, but now like after playing other games, it's like okay, just build connections with one viewer at a time. And that's what I try to do. But you need to stream, and I haven't been streaming for a while, just because I just got burnt out doing streaming. But this is a lot of fun, so I think I'm gonna do this a lot. Bombing doesn't mean you're not funny, and killing doesn't make you a better person. My identity doesn't change based on how well you perform. Exactly, Trevor. Exactly. You have to find self-worth within yourself. That's hard to do with someone with low self-esteem. Like, I used to put a lot of value into like what people thought about me. Like I needed to be like, because I just needed to be, I just needed to be liked. I don't know what that stems from. That's like something that definitely I guess like now that the thing is, it's like I just genuinely want to be a good person to be a good person, because there's just so many shitty people out there. But I think I'm still working on like finding the validation within myself. It's crazy. Like I said, like I watch my own clips. Like I watch my own content because I genuinely enjoy, like that validates me. It's like, oh, I fucking made this. Like let's enjoy it. Like when I put out stuff, I don't put it out to like, oh, I hope people like this anymore. I do it because it's like it brings me joy. Like what I'm gonna do after this stream is not probably tonight, but I'll cut it up and put clips of it on Instagram, and I'll definitely put this on YouTube. So yeah. Was I picked on as a kid? Yeah, I was. That could be. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, let's dive deep. It's called open mics for a reason. I'm trying to like I was picked on. I was like, you know what it was? I never understood why people shit on other people. Like I always took it personal, because to me it's like I'm like, I always felt like I'm doing the best I could. Like I'm doing the best of my abilities. Why would someone shit on that? And that would really affect me. So maybe that's why I was so like I'm so like because I don't get, like, I don't put other people down when they try something. Like when you put yourself out there, you put yourself out there and people like shit on that. Like when you fail, that's why like when someone like UFC star Conor McGregor, when he sets out to accomplish these big like goals in his career, and like he loses, he doesn't accomplish them, like people shit on him, like, oh, I don't like him, so therefore like I'm glad he failed. Why are you hating on somebody that's fucking attempting greatness? You should be admiring that. The fact that he's willing to put himself out there to fucking try to get something, to get somewhere. Like that's what you gotta, like, that's why, like, for me, it's like, that's why I resonate with UFC so much, is because these fighters, they put themselves out there to entertain with the big chance of failing in front of millions of people. So like I just don't get why people shit on other things. You put well that's one thing. Matt Trevor said that like he puts people down because he's friendly. That's pretty funny. I remember watching Chris D'Elia. He talks about like growing up for him, like when his family his family made fun of each other, and that's just like for them that's their way of saying like, hey, I like you. Like and I guess it took me a few years in the comedy to get that because like I never grew up feeling that way. I was picked on as a kid. I guess I just wanted to be liked. I need to figure out why. That's so crazy. Like, huh, maybe I need to figure that out. Let me write that down. Like, as I'm a like now that I'm older, now that I'm 33 because I just turned 33 this past Monday, my birthday. Um, like I understood the idea of not everyone's gonna like you. Not everyone's going to like appreciate what you do. Like I get that, but like for me, it's like I'm still just trying to put my best foot forward. I'm just trying to be a better person. I'm just trying to be a good person, and I kind of joked about this. I kind of joked about this, where like I feel I don't know whether or not Jesus was real. He probably was a real person. Um, because people talk about him all the time. I guess when everything was written about him. I, I don't know if Jesus was real or not, but what I do believe, I believe in the idea of Jesus, meaning you can do nothing but good stuff your entire life, and people will still shit on you to the point where they nail you to a cross. So, like that to me, that to me means like you can do nothing. Like that's why, like when people, like when Tim Tebow played in the NFL. I don't know, Matt, if you know who Tim Tebow is, but Tim Tebow was this NFL quarterback that played for the Denver Broncos. What was so unique about him was that he was like, I guess like in college, he was the star. He was a man. He was a great quarterback in college. In the NFL, he was okay. But like he was a very religious man. Like he put his faith on his sleeve and people shat on him for it. And all he was like, he had no like issues off the field. Like he had like, there was like no stories of like reports of him like committing crimes, like off the field. Like he was just a genuinely good person, and people still shat on him. So yeah, like it's so yeah, the idea of Jesus to me is that you can do nothing but good things in your life. You can do nothing but good things here on out, and people will still hate on you for it. And that comes from like bitterness within themselves for not. I think that's low self-esteem. Like I know I suffer from low self-esteem from time to time, but at least I know I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to improve myself in any way, shape, or form, minus working out. I need to work on that. Matt asked, "Okay, so do we get political on the stream? As long as it's respectful." When I first started, like when the whole Trump thing first started, I'll admit I did this. Like I saw this video of like these people getting beat up at Trump rallies, and it was sickening. Like it was just like people were. This was before he became president. This is like when he was running for office. It's Like, it was sickening to me. It's like, man, people are imposing violence on these people. And I posted the clip of the video. I was like, if you support this, if you support Trump and this, unfriend me now. And it caused a huge fucking debate, like within my fucking like friend list on Facebook. And I was just so close. Like, I wouldn't say I was close-minded, but I felt that if you support violence, if you support a man who condones violence against other people, other races, other genders, like all that stuff, you take away rights from people. Like I don't want to be associated with you. And so I felt that way. Yeah, Trevor was there. Trevor saw that. Like, it blew up on my Facebook feed. Like, because I was in the military. So with the military, it's like you meet people from different backgrounds, different cultures all the time. And like, so people had different beliefs. People were raised differently. And it wasn't until this last year or so where I started, like, I don't know if I'm like numb to it now, but now I'm like, I don't like, I don't feel that way anymore. Because I think I believe at the end of the day, both sides are hurt. I think we're both in pain. I think this is just my belief, like, not belief, I guess it's my belief. I feel that the other side was like, they feel that they were losing their grip on what they have. And they don't like that. Like, if someone were to come and take my VA disability, I'd be pissed too. I just at the core of it, I just think both sides are hurt and they just want to heal. And it's for our side, like, I'm team human. I'm team people. Not to be like, not because I'm trying to be a better person than anybody else, but I genuinely want us to come back, like, to the center. I want us to, like, be able to have discussions without it turning like hateful. And like, it's just like now, like, and then as I get older, I realize with politics, it's like the people that you vote for don't represent who you are anymore. Like, the whole Trevor's like, I'm not a big fan of humans. True, some humans suck, but what can you do? Like, the whole, like, when Trump, like, did his State of the Union not too long ago, and like Nancy Pelosi ripped up the fucking his speech right after him, or like when Trump like refused to shake Pelosi's hand and then Pelosi like ripped up his speech. Like, that's just fucking childish to me. You guys are like representing America. You guys are acting like fucking children. But then again, we voted for these people. I mean, granted, I didn't vote for Trump. But like, the people elected these people. And I don't know where, like, I don't, and even within the Democratic, like, because right now we're voting for, like, who wants to represent the Democratic side. And my nose itches. We're still not, like, we're still divided based on that. Like, we can't even agree to who we want to represent us, like, going against Trump. And that's why, like, we're so divided that's why I was like, okay, that's exactly why Trump won. Because we're just divided. It's just crazy to me where we're at in life. Yeah, you're exactly right. You're right, Matt. He wrote, the entire debates in America already get personal. Trump saying personal bad stuff about Hillary and back and forth. It sparks up the hate between groups. Yeah, that's how politics is right now. But I don't. But my issue. Okay, this is, I don't know if this is a conspiracy theory or not, but this is like what I believe, or this is what I think. I feel when it comes to politics in general, it's all about lobbyists. It's all about corporations. It's all about corporations paying money to these politicians so that way they can so that way it's in their best interest to survive. And like, it's so crazy, but nothing is going to change until money is no longer powerful. Until money loses its power, like, we're just going to go down the spiral around the world. Because, for example, cost of living keeps going up while we're still maintaining the same income. That's a very common thing in America, but I also believe that to be a fact around the world in regards to, I guess, okay, I'm basing this off, like, say, rent's going up all across the world. Like, I don't know if you've seen videos of people living in Hong Kong, but like, people are paying like monthly crazy fees just to live in a fucking, like, pretty much in a bunk. That's their house. They just live in a bunk. That's how much like real estate like has blown up over the world. London is expensive as fuck. Like, major cities around the world is expensive as fuck. I just, hopefully that all makes sense. Like, I'm very passionate about it, but then again, like, I'm also pretty ignorant about certain things. I just go off what I see, and if someone has more information that can like direct me towards better understanding that situation, I greatly appreciate it. Trevor says his wife is Mexican but voted for Trump. How do I make her face her internalized racism and recognize that the white lady was the only one brown people should vote for? Oh, you know what, Matt? That's he said, like, he basically said, like, hey, the guy likes your content, but before he follows, he asked if you like Trump. That was actually my buddy. That was my buddy Brent. Yeah. Yeah, but no, but there are people like that, man. There are people like that. But yeah. Man, I should have promoted this podcast on Facebook and Twitter. I just went with it. I just wanted to see how it would go. Now, go ahead and sandwich your point. What else do I want to talk about? I think that's it for today, man. I appreciate that. I think I'm gonna start doing this. I think, like, I guess, like, my idea for this is I'm going to like take a couple days in between, just like, so that way I can have stuff to talk about that's fresh in my mind, and come up with things to talk about. I'll figure out a set time. I don't know if I'm gonna have a set time or not, but I'll figure something out. I'll probably cut this up and put clips of it online, and we'll see. I feel like, especially when it comes to politics stuff, I feel if you put yourself out there for a certain belief, best believe you're going to get attacked. So, like, I'm very, like, because I know we had, like, this We had this discussion. But like I feel like if I cut it up and put it out there, people are just gonna be like, well, what about this, and like feel the same way. And I need to figure out how I want to like deal with it. So yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna call it there. Matt, Trevor, thank you so much for hanging out today. Thanks for talking. Thanks for listening to me ramble. If you do me a favor, guys, if you haven't done so, please follow me on YouTube so that way I can build up my so I can. Oh, you guys already follow me on YouTube. Never mind. But if you're offline or whatever, please follow me on YouTube. Hit subscribe. That way I can help grow this channel and just keep creating content. That's what I want to do with my life. So that being said, thank you guys so much for hanging out, and I will catch you on another day.